Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a wonderful guest in studio today. It's Nicole Comis, and she's a certified life coach. Nicole, welcome.
Thank you.
How did you decide to become a life coach?
Oh, goodness. Well, it was 2003, and I was in the prime of my mortgage career. I was kicking some booty, and a girlfriend of mine started working with a life coach, and I saw such transformation in her that I knew I had to have some of that. And so I started working with a coach, and my life completely changed. I went from being that insecure person that looked in the mirror and saw everything that was wrong with me to actually loving and improving of myself. And so fast forward to 2008, after the housing market crash happened and my career went up in flames, right? I really struggled trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And 5 years later, after my career, trying to figure it out, I started working with a coach again. And it was shortly after that she said to me, she goes, "Nicole, I think you want to be a life coach." And it started this crazy journey.
And that's wonderful. But you did one thing I think that not everybody does, is that you thought, okay, I want to be a life coach, but you want to get certified, because not everybody needs to be, but it's the gold standard to have that.
Yes, it was very important to me, especially after 13 years in the mortgage business, to go and get that certification, not only for myself, but for my clients. And so I went through a one-year training program. It was pretty intense and crazy and hugely transformational, that's the word, in my own life. And so then what happened was, after that 1 year was up, I actually stayed on as a mentor coach, which I like to call grad school of life coaching education. And so I continued to develop who I was as a coach through that program as well.
That's great. Yeah. And I think we all kind of want to know, what is a life coach? I mean, I hear this, and it seems to have helped you, and you became one. You liked it so much, but I don't really know what a life coach does.
Well, I think people get confused, right? So a couple years ago, my brother said to me, "So really, Nicole, a life coach because your life is so perfect?" And first off, that was not nice. Secondly, that's not what a life coach is. I don't have the answers for you. I'm not going to tell you what you need to do to live your life the way that you should live your life, right? That's up to you to decide what's important to you. So what a life coach is, at least my definition, is we work on your whole life. So it's not just focusing on your career. It's focusing on your career and your relationships and your well-being and all the other things that are important to you, because you make up a whole person. So if you look at it like a circle, right, and you cut it into pie pieces, and the intention is to make sure you're fulfilled in every area of your life. And that's what a life coach does.
And that sounds wonderful. I should sign up. How does that differ from a therapist?
So a therapist deals mostly with healing and your past. Okay. Whereas a coach deals with where you are today to get you to where you want to be tomorrow. So there are some things what we might talk about your past, like your limiting beliefs and your fears, if they are holding you back from achieving what you want in life. But as far as trauma and depression, that is not something a life coach will work with.
Right, so you're there to help me kind of set some goals and maybe move forwards with those goals.
Absolutely. Really helping you get clear on your vision. So what do you want your life to look like? And then creating goals and what I call objectives. So it's kind of like goals on steroids, right? That powerful thing that includes your why behind it. And then actions and working through your fears and limiting beliefs as they come up throughout the process.
That's wonderful. What would be the process if somebody's hiring you, thinking, I think I need a life coach?
Sure.
Or how do I even know if I need a life coach?
Yeah. Well, call. So first off, I want to say that what's important to know is that it doesn't mean that something's wrong with you if you're going to hire a life coach. It means that you have things that you want to achieve in your life. And, my belief is, as far as my own personal life, I see myself constantly working with a life coach. No matter what I do with my life, I always see having that partner there to support me, to be that non-judgmental third-party person I can talk to about anything and everything. Somebody who's not trying to fix it or give me the answers, right? Which is what our friends and family wants to do, right? They give you advice. Oh, what you need to do is you need to do this. Instead, where my coach helps me come up with the answers on my own. Right? By asking questions and that sort of thing. So I work with my clients on a weekly basis. They have a reoccurring appointment with me. So if 10 o'clock on Tuesday works, you're going to meet with me every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And they're 50-minute sessions done over the phone. And the reason why I do them over the phone versus in person is that everybody's so busy, right? So if somebody has to drive 20 minutes to me, have the session and then 20 minutes back to the office, that takes a lot of time out of their day. All they have to do is pick up that phone. And people also have a tendency of being more open and vulnerable over the phone than when they are in person, right? So we get more done when we're over the phone as well.
Interesting. So I would have flip-flopped that. I think that if you could see them, you could read them a little bit better, but I could see how I might be more free to just say it and just, not have you look at me.
Yeah. Well, I know with me, I know that if I'm having a vulnerable conversation, I'll choke back the tears, right? Like I'll, close off, right? If I'm on the phone, I can put them on mute, blow my nose, or whatever's going on. I can be completely open and honest. But also, I feel like, for me, sometimes it's funny because I'll close my eyes and I'll just listen to what they're saying, and that's hard to do when someone's face to face with you, right?
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So it's amazing what you hear when you're not distracted by the person being in front of you.
That's very interesting. How many people do you work with? I mean, is it just one-on-one? Is it couples therapy for couples life coaching or what?
Well, there's a couple options. I do work with clients one-on-one. I have group coaching. I have workshops. Companies and organizations can hire me to do seminars and workshops for their groups. So there's several different ways you can plug into working with me.
And how long does your life coach stay with you? I mean, you sound like you're going to be with your life coach for life.
Sure.
Are we with you for life, or do we?
That is totally dependent on the person. My contract is for 6 months because change takes time. And so, unfortunately, things don't happen overnight, right? It takes time and it takes work and commitment. Some people, they've got big things they want to accomplish in life, and they want somebody along for the ride so they're more efficient and more effective. So it just really depends on the person.
I would think that too, that maybe you get those objectives kind of established, and you're working in that 6 month, and you're feeling pretty good. And then I might need to come back and see you, a year from now or 6 months after things are going great, but I want to update you, but I need a tweak. Sure. Right. Yeah. So.
And it really is dependent on the person.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It's nice to have that flexibility. Sure. It's nice of you to stop by and tell me what you do and how well you do it. So
Thank you.
I think it's perfectly well suited for you. So.
Oh, thank you, Liz. I appreciate that.
And we're going to be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.